King Midas and the Golden Touch by Abigail D and Marina H. There once was a great king named Midas of Phrygia. The king had everything he could have ever wanted: power, family, and most importantly, gold. He was obsessed with gold and could never get enough. We set our scene in the large throne room of a magnificent castle filled with an abundance of treasures, such as gold. Midas sits with his beautiful daughter, Marigold, enjoying a nice conversation. They were conversing in the silent throne room when they heard a knock on the great castle doors.
Who would come to disturb us on this fine night?
Father, must you be so cynical? It could be someone who needs our help.
Someone who needs our help? Why must I take responsibility for another man's problem?
It's not taking responsibility, it's being selfless and helping out your subjects.
All right. Guards, open the door and let the poor fellow in. What brings you, peasant, to my fine castle on this splendid day?
Good evening, my lord. I've crossed the land and sea to ask you to spare a minuscule amount of your abundant wealth on rebuilding the hospital in our humble town.
Now, for what reason would I ever want to spend a fraction of my wealth on a puny little town such as yours?
In return for your donation, if you would be so kind as to give, I shall grant you a single wish.
A wish? Why, you are but a poor peasant, and only the greatest of gods have the power to grant wishes.
Oh, if you don't decide to help me, your majesty, can you at least give up one of these grand bedroom suites for me so I can get a good night's rest? I have suffered greatly on my tedious journey to seek your aid.
Alright, I guess you can stay here for one night, but first, you must remove that dreadful cloak. It really is an unpleasant sight. Oh, my great God, I am so sorry, for I have mistaken you for a lousy peasant. I really do apologize for the way I've treated you.
You need to learn how to give, King Midas, but I will be forever grateful for allowing me to stay the night. Please show me to the chamber.
Why, of course. I will show you the finest guest room we have.
Thank you so much.
After showing Dionysus to his room and making sure he found his accommodations enjoyable, Midas decides to take a midnight stroll around his large castle. He does this in hopes to wrap his head around the extraordinary events of the evening. When he comes across the beautiful red rose garden, there's a suspicious rustling noise in the bushes.
What is that noise coming from my bushes? Oh my, you are the great satyr companion of Dionysus.
Oh, and you must be King Midas of Phrygia. I arrived here just last night after my long journey and was so tired that I must have fallen asleep in your garden.
Well, since you're already here and made yourself a home, you might as well come inside my castle.
Why, thank you, my friend.
Morning comes and King Midas and Dionysus relax atop a beautiful mountain and are watching the bright sun rise on a new day. Silenus sleepily arrives from his chamber to join them and reunite with his dear master, Dionysus.
Silenus, you are safe. I was so worried when we were separated on our journey.
Oh yes, I wandered off that path and became lost. Thankfully, King Midas found me in his garden and took me to you.
King Midas, it seems I have misjudged you. Perhaps you do have a caring heart somewhere beneath all of your inches. To repay you for your kindness, I will grant you one wish.
I need some time to... Oh, wait! I wish everything that I touch will turn to gold.
Now, Midas, make sure you think well about what you are asking for. A wish granted by a god won't be taken away so easily.
I know what I want, great Dionysus. And who wouldn't want everything to be gold? This will only benefit me.
Okay, fine. But don't come running back to me when you regret it. King Midas of Phrygia, when you awake tomorrow, everything you lay your hands on will turn to solid gold. This wish was gifted to you for your kind hospitality. Don't forget why I have given you this gift.
Thank you so much, Dionysus. I promise not to forget why I've been given this wonderful gift. I will be forever grateful.
Well, I must be on my way. So long, King Midas.
Dionysus and Silenus ride off away from the palace on a majestic white horse. King Midas feels very content with his decision, but he has yet to realize the consequences of his actions. King Midas anxiously awaits the next morning to test out his new magical abilities. After a restless night, he awakes excited to spend his day with gold. In his large velvet bed, King Midas awakes in the morning, practically jumping with excitement. He reaches for a small wooden figurine to see if Dionysus was true to his word. The statue turns to solid gold, and Midas is filled with glee.
Oh my goodness. Dionysus was true to his word. Now I'll never run out of gold. I will be happy for the rest of my life.
King Midas runs rampant around the castle, turning everything he could find into gold. He became exhausted, but he was extremely pleased with himself. He sits in the grand library with his beloved daughter Marigold, eating a morning snack. Father, you seem to be in very good spirits this morning.
I was gifted a wonderful ability by the god Dionysus. Once you finish eating, I will give you a demonstration.
I picked some roses from the gardens yesterday and placed them in the grand throne room.
Oh, wonderful. I bet they smell as sweet as you.
Midas picks up a book and it turns to solid gold.
Oh my gods.
Father, your hands are magic!
Yes, they are. Now we'll never have to worry about running out of money. All I have to do is touch something and poof!
Midas reaches for a delicious green grape, but before he is able to put it in his mouth, it turns to gold. He tries again with a piece of bread, same thing, and another time with a glass of water, same thing. Father, what seems to be the matter? Can you not eat?
Oh, this was a horrible mistake. I'm going to starve. Marigold, what should I do?
Midas runs to his daughter to embrace her. In his distraught state, he forgets about the curse. At the very moment when Midas's hand touches Marigold, she too, like the book, turns to pure gold. King Midas is mortified.
Oh no, what have I done? Marigold! Marigold!
Marigold is now a cold, hard statue lying on the floor, her fear still frozen on her face. Midas sprints outside and starts to call to the gods.
This is no wish, but a terrible curse. Oh gods, please help me and reverse my curse. I want to have my daughter back.
There is a flash and a loud crack. Dionysus suddenly appears before Midas.
King Midas, I warned you to be careful what you wish for. You do not deserve forgiveness for your greed. but I feel sorry for you and your daughter Marigold, which is why I have come here again.
Thank you, my God. Thank you so much. All I want is to get rid of this curse and have my daughter back. How might I do that?
You must go to the river of Paculus and wash your hands in the pure water. The curse shall be reversed, and everything you have turned to gold shall become normal again.
Midas runs as fast as he can to a clear and tranquil river, the Pactolus River. When he arrives, he falls to his knees onto the rich green grass and dunks his hands in the stream. He scrubs his hands spastically, desperately trying to rid himself of his awful curse. Gold begins to seep from his hands.
Yes, it's working!
Midas scrubs and scrubs until every last trace of gold is gone. He heads back to the castle to reunite with his daughter Marigold. Back at the castle, Marigold awakes from her strange trance where it felt like she was frozen in place. She sees her father running towards her, and the events from the library flood back to her. Oh, Father, what happened? Did I pass out?
Oh no, my dear. I had acted foolishly and touched you with my terrible curse, turning you into gold. But it's all going to be okay now, because the gods have shown me mercy and have taken away the curse. I now see the results of my greedy ways, and I shall make a promise to spread my wealth throughout the kingdom to all people who need it. From now on, I will rule fairly and never take for granted what matters most in this world. The people I love should be what I cherish, not the riches I own.
Midas and Marigold embrace again, but this time no dreadful curse could tear them apart. King Midas learned a very important lesson that day. From that day forward, Midas became a generous and grateful king. He realized the value of people and how even though gold was nice, it just could not compare with the people in his life. Midas and Marigold lived a prosperous life until the king passed away. His people mourned him and appreciated everything he had done for them. Everyone else lived happily ever after. Narrator and Marigold, voiced by Marina H. Dionysus, voiced by John Stankovich. Salinas, voiced by Abigail D. Peasant, voiced by John Stankovich. And last but certainly not least, King Midas, voiced by Jack Kula. The end.